Good morning, and thank you for joining us for this second Copenhagen Democracy Summit. I'm grateful that you all took the time to be with us today. As we meet, democracy is in crisis, with legitimacy undermined at home and autocracies emboldened abroad. Across the West, political leaders are failing to take a hard look in the mirror, perhaps because they may not like what they see. How many leaders could say they have been fully honest about what they can achieve? How many tore up their promises the moment they gained power? How many can say they have really understood and answered legitimate concerns? I spent much of last year traveling around Europe, filming a television show about European wine and European politics. We met and talked to voters, businessmen and women, and politicians. I found that there is a dangerous detachment between many political leaders and voters' perceptions. Today, our polling partner, Dahlia Research, will present the second Democracy Perception Index. Dahlia has polled over 170,000 people in 55 countries. Their study shows that voters do not want less democracy. They want more democracy. They want greater say over their lives. They want more direct democracy. Most importantly, they want to feel that their leaders are being honest with them, not avoiding debates or using political correctness to shut them down. And above all, voters want to know that their leaders are optimistic about our democratic future. Ladies and gentlemen, the biggest threat to liberal democracy is a phenomenon of Western self-doubt. After all, autocratic leaders, macho men, do not self-doubt. But as democracies become more successful and prosperous, the more time they spend tearing themselves apart politically, and the more undermined is their will to lead on the world stage. We must be proud of the democratic societies we have created, not through accident, but through the sacrifice of millions who put their lives on the line to defend our freedom. It is easy to blame the problems of the world on free liberal democracy or capitalism. But this moral relativism only serves to undermine democracy and embolden its enemies. The time has come for a showdown with this tyranny of guilt. We should not apologize for believing in the power of freedom, liberal societies, and democracy. We should stand tall in defense of our values. Because, ladies and gentlemen, democracy may be broken, but I have no doubt we can fix it. And let's start by addressing serious concerns. addressing those concerns with robust answers in keeping with our liberal democratic values. And we can rediscover a sense of optimism about what we can achieve together. The kind of optimism that put a man on the moon, dismantled a wall, and spread prosperity across the world. Every person seeking democratic office has a responsibility as a custodian of democracy, the responsibility to strengthen confidence in democracy, not to strengthen cynicism. But the burden of defending democracy does not fall exclusively on politicians. All lovers of freedom have a mission to promote it. As Jefferson said, the price of liberty is eternal vigilance. This is not just an abstract or academic debate. It is also critical to our security. Democracies are inherently more peaceful than dictatorships. Greater freedom abroad also means greater peace around the world. The United States learned this with the experience of Japan. By creating a Japanese democracy in 1945, a mortal foe has become one of our greatest allies. I hope that one day today's foes can be welcomed into the alliance of democracies. But such transformation is unlikely to happen spontaneously. It will happen only if we are bold in our support of Democrats, dissidents, and activists. If we are patient about building new democracies, if we are willing to support with both our words and our deeds the development of democracy around the globe. And by democracy, I'm not talking about majority rule. A true democracy safeguards individual liberty and the rule of law. A true democracy has a vibrant civil society and stable institutions. And this cannot happen overnight. For example, I have had the privilege of working closely with the Ukrainian people since they decided to reject their post-communist legacy in 2014. The people of Ukraine chose a better future for themselves. They have shed blood because of it, not just at Maidan Square, but on the battlefields of Donbass and beyond. It will take time, but I have no doubt they will get there. Because these are some simple truths. No ruler can endlessly suppress his people. No people can be held in serfdom forever. No power is stronger than man's demand for freedom. These are lessons that should be learned from Tehran to Beijing, from Moscow to Pyongyang. And to those who prefer stability over freedom, I say this: who are we, with all the privileges of free societies, to deny those rights to others? Imagine if Reagan and Thatcher had refused to support dissidents in Czechoslovakia, Poland, or the Baltics, simply because the Soviet Union imposed stability and order. But for our alliance of democracies to thrive, we also need determined American leadership. When America retreats, the bad guys advance. When America engages in the world, the bad guys are kept in check. I still believe that America is a shining city on the hill, a country that inspires others through its values. And I'm honored and given cause for hope that so many congressmen and senators have made the journey to be here today. But today, the world is on fire because the United States decided to stop being the fireman. And as a lifelong supporter of US global leadership, I sincerely hope that this viewpoint will change. Friends, throughout my political life, I have sought to promote this freedom agenda. And I continue to promote it after leaving public office. And that's why I established the Alliance of Democracies Foundation. In the 18 months since its formation, the Alliance of Democracies has become a leading body promoting democracy around the world. The Transatlantic Commission on Election Integrity has shone a spotlight on foreign election meddling. We have demanded action to protect our electoral processes. The Commission has been encouraging those standing in elections not to aid and abet foreign powers to meddle through our election pledge. And the Commission has been looking to the next generation of political disinformation, such as deep fake videos, and developing means to counter them. You will hear more about this later today. The Expeditionary Economics Program, on which you will also hear more today, is beginning to help reconstruct post-conflict regions from the bottom up. And this summit is helping to unite democracy activists and enthusiasts from 75 countries. That's why we are partnering with some of the global democracy promotion organizations. I sincerely hope that you will enjoy our discussions, because after today, we will have some serious work to do to reconnect our politics with voters' expectations and find answers to their concerns, to rediscover self-confidence in our democratic values and promote them around the world, and to reinvigorate the Alliance of Democracies that keeps us free, prosperous, and living in peace. The stakes cannot be higher, but by working together, there is nothing that the world's democracies cannot achieve. No force is stronger than the individual's pursuit of freedom, better opportunities, and happiness. That's why freedom and democracy will prevail over oppression and autocracy. even if this guy in Financial Times today claims that the liberal idea is obsolete. So, let's get to work. Thank you.